Welcome back everyone to Bayside Reviews, and today we're going to show you how to actually debadge your vehicle. I'm going to remove this useless badge right here because I have something I'm going to replace it with, but more of this is about how to actually debadge your vehicle. So let's take a look at some of the things that you want to make sure that you have so you can do this job properly. All right, so a few of the things I have some glue gun, which will be critical once you kind of get the sticker off, depending on how much adhesive is on there. Heat gun or hair dryer, either one works. I've used both. Painter's tape, which I'm going to use. This is more for when I'm going to put the new emblem on. I got like a custom thing that I really wanted. We got some compound to kind of buff out the some of the stains, because what you're going to find is when you remove the decal, you might see a shape or like a silhouette of like the decal that was there. So this will help kind of smooth that out. I'm using this because I do plan on putting something else there, but I'm just using a level to compare the current decal, angle and straight, how straight it is to what I'm going to put on there. So that's that. We got a couple of towels here to kind of clean up the glue on and use it for the compound. Fishing line, or I think some people will say dental floss, but something that can kind of get behind it. In some cases you may need to do that if you can't pry it off easily. And I think we got everything covered. And a credit card or something that you can use kind of like as a scraper. You basically spray the glue on, kind of let it sit for a couple minutes, and then you should be able to usually scrape off the stuck on residue with like a credit card. But you'll use this kind of as a lubricant, and then, use your card. And then after everything's done, you wipe everything down and use that. So let's go over the first step. I'm just going to clean up the area. I want to make sure I minimize the amount of scratches that I have because it's pretty dirty. It's like winter time, and then we'll start getting it off. So like I said, you can see this is really dirty. So we're going to clean up this whole section. I'm going to get that whole section cleaned up, and I'll be right back. I won't bore you with the process for that. Okay, now that we got that all cleaned up, we're going to use our heat gun and just apply some heat. We're going to use a sweeping motion to kind of even it out, not necessarily boil the paint, but we want to just kind of go left to right just to heat up this adhesive underneath. Maybe even change the angle to get it from the top, from below, but you want to just kind of heat up the emblem so that it starts to heat up the glue underneath. So the worst case scenario is the glue loosens and you can get the decal off, but the glue remains, not a problem. Or if you get lucky, the whole thing will come off in one shot. So we'll see what happens with this one. Okay, so we got the heat gun. We're just gonna put it on low and heat up this area. The vehicle is pretty cold in this truck, or in the garage. All right, kind of got that heated up, so we're gonna grab some fishing line, wrap a little bit around the fingers like that. So that way we can create a nice straight line. And we're gonna try to get right on between the decal and use a little back and forth motion to start carving through the decal, and it will start to come off. You can probably almost pull it off. All right, I can probably just finish it off manually. And it's a little hot, so I wouldn't shy away from telling you to get some gloves, but we got it off. So there is some glue remaining. So there's some glue remaining. So this is the stuff that we're gonna hit with the glue gun, and then we'll use the credit card to get that off. So let's take care of that now. I'm just gonna give it one generous squirt, let it kind of do its thing. And I'll be right back after that kind of settles. Just clean up some of the residual. So I'll be right back. Now what I opted to do, because this tape was pretty thick on here and I didn't get the fishing line behind the adhesive. So I'm going to heat it up again to kind of get that underside that's making contact with the paint warmed up. So that way this will come off and we'll be able to use the credit card, and it should essentially get it right off. I'm basically just sliding it along, trying to get the top layer of this off. Don't worry if there's a little bit underneath. So you're just going to keep going. Just put a little more glue on as a lubricant. I'm just going to kind of chip our way through until we get this concentrated piece of tape off. You see, it's almost coming off in one clean strip, so we just have a little bit of the residue to deal with. All right, so we got that all off, so we just have a little bit of the residue to deal with. So we'll hit that again with some Goo Gone, and then we'll... Okay, so I hit this a couple of different times with the Goo Gone. So I basically sprayed the Goo Gone, used a credit card while the Goo Gone was acting like a lubricant. Got most of this off. You kind of want to get it to the point where when you touch it, it feels smooth and you don't feel any tape. And so we're going to clean this up. We're going to get all the oil off from the Goo Gone and then hit it with the compound and try to smooth out that stain. So we'll be right back with that step. All right, so this step, I'm basically just taking the compound, putting it on the applicator. You can already see I've gotten a good portion of it off. If you look from the side, you just see that 1 or 2 pieces right there and there. So if you're having difficulty, you might have to just hit a spot again with the Goo Gone. But I think we're pretty much there. So let me finish this off and be right back. And there you have it, my friends. It is completely gone as if it was never there. And there's no signs like it was ever there. So that is basically how you debadge your vehicle. All right, so hopefully you found this informative. And if you did, hit that like button. And if somebody else is trying to figure out how to do this, share this out. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next how-to video. Have a good one.